Hello and welcome to a unique Burning Questions. And we send our prayers to Andrew Patrick Gath, who will not be joining us for the first time in history. It's a sad moment, but I've gotten over it pretty quickly because we have Aaron Dunn and Clayton Tonkin with us. Clayton, how are you, brother?
How you going, brother?
Are you preparing to join Zelensky's forces in Kiev to try and push back the Russians? You're in the car keys. It doesn't look great there in Ballarat.
No, mate. You know what it's like up here. It's torrential. So, no, we're just trying to keep dry and trying to keep going through the day.
Tell us this. How does it affect? So we know how bad the winters are up there. How does it affect the horses, like in terms of getting out on the track and being able to prepare them properly? It sounds like it goes okay.
Yeah, no, we've got it down pat at the minute, but yeah, no, it's a bit of a balancing act. We just got to make sure we don't try to overdo the track the night before if we're getting heavy rain and all that sort of stuff. But we've got a pretty good system, so it works.
And Aaron Dunn, I've spoken to you more than my partner and my closest friends this week. How are you, brother?
Yeah, no, pretty good. We've got a good day up here. The sun's shining, so it's great.
Yeah, Clayton's thinking about moving there. He told us earlier he's just going to pack up shop and head out to the Western Districts. Right, let's start burning questions. Question one. Will Treachery lead and dominate the tailor-made Lombo, or can Doug's and Runaway test her resolve over the short? I think I might go to Clayton first for this one.
Yeah, no, I think Treachery would be too good for him. She's just got brilliant speed off the arm, and I think she's got a bit of class on them ones, and I couldn't see her getting beat.
Will Runaway Celebrity be coming off the gate or not?
Oh, I don't think so. I just personally, I think if she goes forward, I don't think she's got enough speed to get across Doug's babe, and then all of a sudden, Treachery will have too much speed. You don't want to be left outside Treachery because she's been running some awesome sectionals, and I just think that Runaway Celebrity is just starting to go okay again. It was been real plain the last few weeks, and it went good last week. The race was put on for it, but she's just starting to hit a little bit of form again. So I don't think we'll be taxing her.
I was going to say, when you said I don't think so, I think you got a pretty good idea. You know so. He knows so. So now you've got all the information, Dunny. So what are your thoughts? Treachery just wins?
Well, I was probably thinking Treachery would have just won, but then, talking to Clayton first has made that more clear. And, Treachery's just winning and can't be beat. So always like those mares that are in terrific form and winning, they just keep winning.
You're going to miss the influence of Andy Gath telling you how you should go about driving horses. Maybe Clayton can give you some advice. I know you like mentoring on burning questions, yeah?
Oh, well, I seem to get told, and that's good. And, have a bit of a laugh about it. But, I suppose I drive them aggressively at times, and I try not to drive them aggressively, but quite often the pace is off and then things change.
Aaron Dunn, he makes races. Clayton, before we move on to question two, how close is Treachery to the elite ones? Like, well, not ladies in red, but second tier.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a hard one to say because she hasn't had to race them, but I still think she's a little bit behind them myself. It's just hard because she's only been beating the opposition that it's in front of her at the minute, but it's a total different thing coming against horses like Tough Tilly, and you've seen even with Joanna, when she parked up outside her at Bendigo, she still definitely tested her. So, yeah, no, I still think she's a little bit behind them.
Dunny, let's talk about a race that neither of you give two irrits about. Can Chevy, Loving a Chevy, that is, wind back the clock and shoot for Pillar to Post Glory in the second leg of tonight's or Saturday night's quad, or are those days long gone?
Oh, look, I just think he probably hasn't got the form at the moment, but he's been having second row draws, and maybe the draw number one's good, but I was probably more going, I just thought maybe Hugo Rocks could just get a nice little run in that and be too good.
You're wearing Ripkill today. You've been out at the beach there in the Western. There's no what beach? How do you have a Ripkill t-shirt, Dunny?
Well, it's probably old as hills, and it's a work shirt, and they just never die, do they? So it could be
I-
20 years old.
I
That's
tell you
why
what, they
probably
might not
died.
die, but the neckline is starting to show some wear and tear. That's a 9-year-old gelding. It needs a break. Right, Clayton, thoughts on loving a chivvy in that race?
Yeah, no, personally, I don't know. I don't think he's going as good as he used to. And, he's been around 1,000 times. Like, he's done a great job, the old horse, come back from the brink of death. And he just keeps backing up. But, yeah, I wouldn't be tipping him.
He came back from the brink of death in about 2008. Like, I don't know when it was. It was a long time ago. But he's still going. He's one of my favourites. I think maybe he can. Question 3 of the burning questions here for hip pocket workwear and safety. They've got you covered for necklines on Rip Curl T-shirts, khaki, Ukrainian suits for war, and everything else. Have the draws set the scene for an arty party, or can Bondi bomb the champ early in Gamblelight tonight? Aaron Dunn, please confirm.
Well, I think I've got him going as good as before. We haven't had a race to test that, but with a bit of luck, well, I suppose you shouldn't say that, but a bit of luck, Artie mightn't be quite as good as he was, and maybe.
Oh, shots fired! Shots fired!
Well, if he's as good as he was, well, he's a good horse, and he might be too good for us. But with a bit of luck, it'd be interesting. I look back through his races to see how much gate speed he had. I thought most of them he probably worked to the front, but I didn't go back far enough. And Bondi has shown he has a bit of gate speed from out wide at Melton once before. But yeah, just go out and have a look, because it's nearly going to be struggling to pull him back, and hopefully I'm going as good as I hope he is.
Will you launch him at the start? It sounds like yes. I mean, you're Aaron Dunn. I mean, I don't even know why I'm asking. Yes, you're going to launch him at the start.
I didn't launch him last start.
There's always an exception that proves the rule. You can have a crack early.
Yeah, he's definitely in a better place than he was probably going into Cranbourne, that's for sure. So I think we've got to go out and have a look and just see, just let him go from the gate from the start and see what happens, really.
Clayton, your thoughts on this race? And I want to touch on Honolulu Bay in a moment and what was a brutal race last weekend. I don't want to get you angry. You probably, hopefully you've been able to move through it, but this race this weekend, Gamblelight Free for All.
Yeah, it's one of them races where it's set up for Lochinvar if he finds a front cheap. It's his race to lose, to be honest. Aaron's horse is second up, and if Artie's in front and he's outside him, not very often horses can sit outside Lochinvar, but Aaron's horse is a brilliant horse, and that's one thing. He's super, super tough. So yeah, I think the lead time will be real key in this race. So if Artie gets a cheap lead and Aaron works forward, I think he's in trouble. But I just think that if they really sort of come out and they hit the first turn run, and it'll probably suit Bondi, because yourself, that's one thing his horse can do is run some awesome sectionals.
Clayton's telling you to launch. I'm telling you to launch. Just launch, Dunny. Feel it, believe it, breathe it, live it. Launch. Now, Clayton, I reckon you could probably pick up Nathan Jack and Mark Pitt with, well, not even two hands. You could both, one hand. You could have them both. What happened last weekend?
Oh, mate. I said to Mark before the race, I said, won't it be perfect to see this horse just driven with one run? And when he moved from the 1-1, I'm thinking to myself, am I seeing things? I was like, oh my God, he's off. I'm like, oh, I was nearly sick. So, and then because they hadn't come up for air, they kept striding, and I'm thinking to myself, why are you going now?
Did he run for cover? I mean, he's only little. He could find a little nook and cranny in the stables. Did he just run for cover when he came back, Pitty?
No, I wasn't down there, but he was holding up the white flag when he come in.
We interviewed him later after he did win on Petillon, and he was defending the case pretty strongly. But yeah, it wasn't it wasn't pretty to watch, particularly for those of us who backed Honolulu Bay to the exclusion and for the trainer Clayton Tonkin. Right, question 4 of the burning questions. No Andy Gath, but it's okay. We're killing it. Has her slightly better alley gifted Historia success in the Argent Classic, or will we see another miracle from Amore Vita? That win in Queensland was a bit outrageous, Clayton.
Yeah, no, she's a good filly, and she's at the top of her game sort of when she went to Queensland, and yeah, she's pretty versatile. Like, she can roll the gate, she can come with one run with real good turn of foot and that, and her sectionals were off the chart in Queensland. But I will say one thing, in Queensland, Amore Vita was knocking itself around. It was pulling very hard up there, and you know, she's a class horse, Amore Vita, and some of her runs have been unbelievable. Up there, she was real aggressive, and it was more she was bringing herself undone as well.
Who is your best 3-year-old filly?
In Cypher.
There you go. Left of centre. And are you actually a basketball fan? You got the Bulls cap on today, Clayton, or is that just something that was lying around the stables?
No, just lying around the stables. Trying to look cool.
He's a massive Michael Jordan fan, is what he said. Everyone I'm doing. Dunny, what are your thoughts here? It's like it's very similar to last week's race with Petillon and Just Hope. So you've got Soho Historia drawn inside. I think she'll find the front, but Amore Vita, we know how good she is when she's at her best. Your thoughts?
Oh, I just think that draw makes a difference. You know, Soho Hysteria will go to the front, and pretty much I think there was another race back there. I reckon it might have been on burning questions for that, where, you know, Amore Vita went back, and then, yeah, she'll probably, you know, might come around mid-race, but still to run her down will be a bit of a battle, I'd reckon.
Right, best bets. I'm going with Mighty Flying Art into Soho Historia. A little bit of a double multi there, Dunny.
Oh,
Say
look,
Bondi Lockdown, I love you.
I'll just stick with Bondi. I've got 3 out of 4 with him, with picking him, so I'll stick to that, I think.
I can't believe Dunny's keeping his own stats here, Clayton. This is extraordinary stuff. He's got an Excel spreadsheet with his own stats on burning questions and on the radio.
It was only Cranbourne where I'd lost out, so you know, you were keeping Andy's stats there for a good while, so I was unbeaten until Cranbourne.
I think Andy and I wouldn't like to keep our stats first. Right, Clayton, best bit on the program.
Oh, well, I say Treachery, but she's just going to be too short, so it's going to be pretty pathetic. But I've got one in the race, but I do think Mighty Flying Art will be very hard to beat, dropping back into the claimers, and you know, he's been flying, so yeah, I do think he'll be hard to beat.
Has Sicario come through that little grade 2 EIPH last start okay?
Yeah, but I think that was a bit of a pilot error as well. That we've had some brutal conversations lately, and he went back when they were walking, and he sat back, and I was just like, I went to bed. Yeah, I had a couple more wines, and I thought, I better settle myself back down. I thought I better not make the phone call that night. I'll wait until the morning and ask him what the idea was.
He's got a Shiraz and a Pinot Noir just like that, Ron. Tell me this very quickly before we say sayonara. In 12 to 18 months, who will be the better horse? Sam Stewart's not listening. I know he loves Honolulu Bay. Who will be the better horse out of Honolulu Bay and Captain Ravishing?
Captain Ravishing.
You heard it here first. More shots fired. Well done, Clayton Tonkin. Well done, Aaron Dunn. Good luck to both of you on the weekend, and hopefully we found some winners.